me say roll, Jordan roll, roll. Praise him like you just don't care. Just praise the God, because you know what he has done for you. Just give him praise. Rock and praise him. Dance and praise him. Wave your hand and praise him. For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan. My God, David was one of the greatest musicians. And I hear these musicians playing. Give God glory, musician. Tell them, play a little David. Play a little David. Play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Me say roll, Jordan. Me say roll, Jordan roll. My God, Church of God this evening. God is good. Yes, God is good. God, for I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan. Oh no, me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to walk right in there. 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 River Jordan a roll. A river Jordan a roll. A river Jordan a roll. A river Jordan a roll. Roll River Jordan. Roll River Jordan. Roll River Jordan. Roll River Jordan. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Let the deaf man hear. And the dumb man talk. And the blind eye see. And the crippled man walk. Roll back to bank. Roll back to bank. Roll back to bank. Roll back to bank. A river Jordan a roll. A river Jordan a roll. A river Jordan a roll. A river Jordan. I feel like praising. I feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want rock and praise it, boy. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Boy, River Jordan a roll. People make you roll, make you roll. Boy, a blessing make you roll. Yes, a blessing make you roll. Boy, are your blessing make you roll. Yes, are your blessing make you roll. For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan rolls. Somebody shout and praise to God. My God. Somebody praise him. Rock your body and praise him. And Jesus' body make you rock it. Rock and give him praise. Hey, my God. At the cross, where I first saw the light. And the burden of my heart roll away. I am working for a robe and a star on my crown. I am working. I only live my life to please the Lord. Yes, somebody praise him now. Walk out and praise him. Wave your hand and praise him. Wave your hand and praise him. Give him praise in the home. Give Jesus praise in the home. Somebody praise high. Somebody praise him. Come now. Yes, in the middle of the night. Oh yeah. When me back against the wall. Oh Jesus. And me don't have no friend at all. Jesus taught me how to pray in the middle of the night. Da 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 da. Yes, sir. In the middle of the night. Yes, when me back against the wall. Jesus. praise. And me no have no friend at all. Jesus taught me how to pray in the middle of the night. Oh, hey, 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 hey. Oh, our Father, what in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thank you, Lord. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the middle of the night. Say it again. Oh, our Father, what in heaven. Somebody worship him. Hallowed be thy name. Yeah. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the middle of the night. Thank you, Lord. There is a race that I must run, and the victory to be won. Anybody can identify with me this evening? So give me power, Lord, every hour. Say it with me, keep me through. Come on, people, get out of your seat and rock this evening. Rock and give Jesus glory. Come, keep me true, Lord Jesus, keep me true. Yes, keep me through, Lord Jesus, keep. Yes, there is a race that I must run, and the victory to be. Somebody give God praise hour. Yes, every hour. Yes, keep me true. Sing it again this evening. Keep me true, Lord Jesus, keep me true. Yes, I keep me true, Lord Jesus, keep me true. There is a race that I must run. Yes, and the victory to be won. Yes, give me power every hour. Yes, keep me true.
He like.
Yes, comrades! Youth and youth! Undecided voters! PNP coming again! So tell your neighbor, tell your friend! Green man a ride with like mule, and I take the nation for fall! But we have a new name for him! What him name? Eli! Bangarang! Oh, we tired of the labor pay! The drive across the bus and the country going down the drain. Yes, we tired of the labor paid. Poverty a bus we shut and we going insane. Why? Eli. At the union for the bus driver. Eli. That's how you hear from every corner. Eli. In name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli. On a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday, 2 times on a Sunday. Eli. Hear this. Eli tell we say him a go build up the country, put money in our pocket and end poverty. Promise the farmer them a go drive SUV. No him touch the bus, him a blame PNP, but Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. Him fi go sit down back in the harbour. Him too lion out of order. Oh, we tired of the labor pay. The drive across the bus and the country going down the drain. Yes, we tired of the labor pay. Poverty a bus we shut and we going insane. At the union for the bus driver. That's how you hear from every corner. In name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli make big Promise to teach a nurse and police. Promise to give them big salary increase. Promise jobs, more jobs and good economy. But knowing crash the bus him a blame PNP. But Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. If he go sit down back in the harbor, him too lion out of order. Eli. Wanna remember this? Eli from a party new on the scene. Swear say him done with the garrison and the green.
I'll never go back to that.
Him tell the country now him greener than green with no credibility. Eli at the union for the bus driver. That's how you hear from every corner. Him name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. If he go sit down back in the harbor, him too lion out of order. On a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday, 2 times on a Sunday, 1 o'clock.
Alright, partner draw. Partner draw. Andre. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. In the 2 for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. In the 2 for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the parliament. Set a rat trap in the 2 foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the 2 foot. Set a rat trap in a FLA. Set a rat trap in the 2 foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the 2 foot rat them. Set a rat trap in the school. The one them where teeth to pity them money. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the judiciary. The one them where take money under the table. Set a rat trap in the lawyer them. Set a rat trap. Take the people money and take them land title. And them not get no title. Hello? Set a rat trap. Partner draw. Partner draw. Andre. Hello? Me say we set a rat trap in the church for the one them where thief the offering. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. We must catch them. Set a rat trap in the tax office. Set a rat trap in the 2 foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Me say we set a rat trap. Andre! Oh my God, we are suffering in Jamaica with the corruption. Jesus Christ, you can't get them. Set a rat trap down on the wharf. Set a rat trap for the, what they call them? Set a rat trap down on the wharf, man. Yes? And set a rat trap in the airport. Hello, you know, say I'll hear Jamaica bankrupt, but we don't know where the money go. Set a rat trap, set a rat trap. Set a rat trap with the 2 for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the entertainment. Hello? Set a rat trap in the entertainment. Set a rat trap. Let me say, set a rat trap for those who are do contract killing. We must catch them in America, in England, and in Canada. Set a rat trap to the one them with Jamaica. With the 2 foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Hello? Set a rat trap. We must catch them. Tear off the cover and expose them. Set a rat trap. Alright, sir. Set a rat trap. Must catch them.
I'm not sorry, I'm not sorry. I listen to PDTV show.
Oh yeah!
So many things I did not know.
Oh yes!
Till I tune in from the show. No, me not sorry.
Oh yes!
No, me not sorry.
One more time.
No, me not sorry at all.
No, yeah.
I'm not sorry, I'm not sorry. I listen to PDTV show.
Oh yeah!
So many things I did not know.
Oh yes!
Till I tune in from the show. No, me not sorry.
Oh yes!
No, me not sorry.
One more time.
No, me not sorry at all.
No, yeah.
I'm not sorry, I'm not sorry. I listen to PDTV show.
Oh yeah!
So many things I did not know.
Oh yes!
Till I tune in from the show. No, me not sorry.
Oh yes!
No, me not sorry.
One more time.
No, me not sorry at all.
No, yeah.
Hey, we on? Hey everyone, Thursday evening. Hey, just gonna do a quick check on the chat and just look at all you lovely people. Philippa, I see you. Colette, a lot of you guys saying you're not sorry, which is good. I mean, I was very surprised when that gentleman, I forgot his name. What was his name? Great something, when he called up on Midday Connections earlier. It was good to hear him actually. Hey Donna, good to see you. Hey Lisa. Hey everyone. Listen, welcome along. So it's a special one tonight, right? So I'm gonna probably be here with you for the first half, and then Andre will then do the second half of the show. And then we're gonna sort of like talk about some interesting things that are around right now. So I feel like what I wanted to touch on is the heat. Do we have anybody in the US with us tonight? It's gonna do a quick check on the chat. Are there any US viewers, East Coast in particular, New York? Marva, thank you, Marva. Right, so we've got a lot of New Yorkers here, US people as well. So it was double digits, 99 degrees, 99 degrees. I felt, you know what, I was meant to go and run a couple errands today, and I just kept falling asleep like an old man. Couldn't go out there, refused to go outside today. It was just not worth it. But do you know where is also hot as well? It's also hot in Europe. France is having a crazy heat wave. Can we show the pictures of how the French have been fighting each other, going to stores, trampling on each other just to pick up a box containing an AC or a fan? Have we got those pictures? This is always the awkward bit where the producer's frantically trying to find those pictures. So we just want to see the pictures of France. I want to show the crazy scenes that is happening in France, and I don't understand. Because usually, right, you'd probably have like a fan in your house, at least one fan in a room somewhere. People basically in France, they've been fighting each other in supermarkets. You're getting elderly women getting pushed over to the ground, people having full-on brawl, like sort of fist fights over boxes of ACs and fans. It is pretty crazy out there. I've just been obsessed watching the pictures coming out from France all day. There was like a 10-minute montage of somebody going across France and just recording people crashing out and going crazy. So look, so we can see these people right now waiting to go into this store. So this store is just open. Usually, good morning, hey, welcome to the store. People are not even, there's no pleasantries here. They are forcing their way in. Look at that. They're going to force their way in to the point where the door is about to collapse, all in the name of a fan and AC. Look at that. That is crazy. Look at that. And then once they get inside, you've got people fist fighting, thumping each other in the faces and grabbing boxes from each other. Crazy. So for anyone whoever comes and says, hey, climate change isn't real, it's all a big hoax, and there are scientists in places sitting around and they're cooking up hurricanes and stuff like that, don't believe them, okay? The climate, the sea is getting hotter. And that means that we're going to have more heat waves, more intense weather, whether it's hurricanes or storms, they're going to get even crazier. Even, what was interesting as well, just sort of knowing that we've got to prepare for these crazy weather events, because I think last year there were maybe about 10 or 15 people, or just close to 24 people who died as a result of the heat. So you've got to make sure, if you've got elderly parents throughout the summer, you've got to check in with them. Just make sure that they've got their fans and ACs. Don't send them out to the store because they might get trampled on, because, it's quite radical. It's crazy out there right now. So yeah, so we thought we'd show you what is happening in France, and I'm going to try and show you some more clips before we go, because it is crazy. Malachi is saying, how is it in Jamaica? Is Jamaica hot right now? Is Jamaica in the double digits? 99 currently in New York. Actually, let me do a quick check. It was 99 an hour ago. Let's see what it's down to now. 86. So we've gone from 99 to 86. I did go to Death Valley. Has anyone heard of Death Valley? Which is all the way on the West Coast. It's the hottest place on earth. And I remember going there to do some filming, and I literally went there as light as this. And then by about 15 minutes of standing outside in the sun, I was as black. I was as black as a botu. Yeah, pretty black. I had a black tan. Literally got fried in Death Valley. So let's just hope it doesn't get crazy in our big cities like Death Valley. So it's 94 degrees right now in the Bronx. Wow, that is hot. Right, listen, we're going to get the show underway. So thank you to everyone for being here. In terms of what we've got coming up for you tonight, chaos, confrontation, a lot of exchange of words, accusations of bias. Is Jamaica's parliament descending into complete disorder? The government says the PNP is disrupting the work of parliament and spreading barefaced lies. The PNP is accusing the JLP of trying to silence them and trying to muzzle them. The Speaker of the House, she's also under scrutiny, accusations that she is biased. She's not doing a good job in holding both sides to account. So what exactly is going on in Gordon House? Has Parliament become a political battlefield? Is the rhetoric that we're seeing inside Parliament means only a matter of time before things get out of hand? Joining us very shortly, we're going to have a leader of opposition business, Philip Paulwell. He's going to come on for an exclusive interview. As you know, Paulwell was at the center of Tuesday's clash, where there was a standoff with the opposition and the Speaker of the House. So we're going to get the full lowdown on what is happening, because the government has come out in the last couple of hours saying that the PNP are hell-bent on trying to disrupt the country being governed. You don't want to miss it. But first, let's begin by getting your Thursday evening news roundup. All right, so we should have the roundup. It was played earlier. If we've got the roundup, if not, we can move on and come back to it in a few moments. All right, we will come back to the news roundup, and we'll move to another news story instead. What we're going to talk about, and it's a very interesting story. Jamaica has been ranked as the most peaceful country in the Caribbean. Yeah. Do I need to say that again? Let me get my megaphone out. 1 second. Let me get my megaphone out. Jamaica has been ranked as the most peaceful country in the Caribbean. Right. Did we all hear that? Did you guys manage to hear that loud and clear? Okay, Virginia said she didn't hear it. Mayday said they didn't hear it. I've got to do it again. Jamaica has been ranked as the most peaceful country in the Caribbean. Did you guys all hear me now? Are we okay? Okay, I've got to do it. So Charmaine can't understand what I'm saying. Jamaica has been ranked as the most peaceful country in the Caribbean. Okay. Yeah, I know. Listen, it sounds crazy as it may sound, but according to the latest edition of the Institute for Economics and Peace, the 2026 Global Peace Index has placed Jamaica as the most peaceful place in the Caribbean. I'm going to try and keep a straight face, okay? I'm going to have to turn the chat off because every time I look at the chat, I look at you guys typing away over there, you catch my attention and then I'm going to probably start laughing. And I want to be serious telling you about this story. Now, the report basically places Jamaica third in North and Central America and 70th out of 163 countries worldwide. So in the Caribbean, it's number one. Now, the index said that Jamaica performed strongly in areas such as low levels of internal and external conflict, as well as relatively low levels of militarization. You know, let me just say this. So when I was reading this story, I looked at the company and the person who was behind this story, and I'm going to refuse to show you the man who is in charge of the research of this story, because I know some of you guys are very bad behaved and will probably have some strong comments. But I looked at the guy's face and I was like, he's probably a little bit out of his depth. That's me being diplomatic. However, the report noted that challenges remain in relation to public safety and crime. So again, it's a bit contradictory, isn't it? So if they know that public safety and crime is a big issue, how can you be peaceful? Crazy. Now, despite these concerns, Jamaica is still ranked ahead of several regions, including some of its neighbors, Trinidad and Tobago, Dominican Republic, Cuba, and Haiti. I mean, come on, we all know with Haiti, right? Haiti was number one, then we could put Mogadishu or Somalia as number two if that's the case. Anyways, the Global Peace Index measures peace using 23 indicators, including safety, security, ongoing conflict, and militarization. And let me just read you this very, very quick quote, because I know this is pretty crazy for us to get our heads around. It says that Jamaica performed best in the rankings in the ongoing conflict category, reflecting its low levels of both internal and external conflict. Yeah, we said that. Its militarization score was also solid compared to other nations in the region. The country, hit by a devastating hurricane last year, was slightly weaker in the safety and security sector, which shows its higher crime rates, political stability, and perceptions of safety. Yikes. Wow. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna email this peace index people and try and see what they're seeing, because I guess some of us are seeing different things, right? I guess some of us are seeing different things. There is, in all fairness, political stability. It's fair to say Jamaica is not like, you know, some countries in Africa or in the Middle East where we have coups and people coming in to take over the government, or the military overthrowing the prime minister and taking over the country. We don't have any of that, thank God. The safety and security sector, they said it was weaker because of the hurricane. Wow. So listen, that's going to allow us now to segue into our next item. And we're talking about political violence. So political violence. So we're on political violence, Matthew. So just follow what I sent you. It's the political violence that we're going to discuss now. And the reason we're going to transition to political violence, and this is a good segue for us, is because I want to show you guys a clip. I want to show you a clip. Do we have that clip ready? We're all trying to understand who wrote it up, to be honest. Do we have the clip ready, Matthew? It's the clip of the gentleman who is talking on TikTok. I want to show you guys this clip very quickly, if we've got it. Right, this is a bit awkward. Do we have the clip or not? Do we have anything? So we need the clip with the crazy guy that was sending threats on TikTok. We're going to expose him and show everyone where we are with all this political upheaval and just where we might be going politically. Right. So if you guys just bear with me, because I think this is an important clip that we want to show. So we're actually trying to get the clip in now. So the clip is currently being brought in as we speak. And this is going to form an important discussion that we just want to have tonight, right? We just want to be fair tonight, where we call things out when we see it, and just sort of give you guys a sense of where this country might be going and what is happening. So I believe that we're getting the clip ready. So once we play the clip, I can then just sort of go into detail and just sort of give you guys my analysis and my take on what we're witnessing in Jamaica in terms of just the political temperature in the country.
This is a message for Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness will be assassinated. He will be struck by a 50 caliber bullet from 500 yards out. Unexpected. At this time, his head will be explode. His head will explode. This is the head that Marcus Garvey prophesied that will roll. Andrew Holness, in order for you to stop this assassination, you have to stop the deal with America right now. Stop the deal with America, or you will be assassinated.
So there is something deeply troubling about the tone of politics today. When I watched that clip, when it was sent to me earlier, I didn't find it funny. I didn't laugh there was no sort of ha 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 or anything comical or hilarious about the nature of what that idiot was saying in that clip. So he appears to have a account on social media. In fact, it was somebody in the security services who said, hey, you might want to check this out and see what we're up against in this country in terms of where we might be going and how stupid people are. And I'm going to be blunt with you tonight. Someone also said to me, it's only a matter of time before we may find out that that gentleman may have been killed or something bad has happened to him. Across social media, we are increasingly seeing politicians being threatened, abused or dehumanized, right? It is okay for us to disagree with policies, and we scrutinize and we challenge and we say, hey, we demand better, we demand the transparency, accountability. We can also challenge a politician's record. That is the sort of the fundamentals of a democracy. That's what democracy is all about. But threatening public officials or encouraging violence against them is a line that I think it's fair to say that no civilized country, and I think people will have their own interpretation of, civilization in Jamaica, but as of right now, it is a line that we shouldn't be crossing, despite the fact that no matter how passionate we feel and how much we dislike a politician, we shouldn't be advocating for violence against anyone. So Olane's saying he's just running off his mouth. But Olane, guess what? But if we go back to the 70s and the 80s, let's not forget we've been here before, and Jamaica cannot go back and will not go back to those dark days. And history told us from the past exactly when people run their mouth, when people decide to take matters into their own hands, what happens and where that leads. During the politically violent 1970s, the country was torn apart by tribalism and bloodshed. Entire communities became battlegrounds. Do we have those images from the 70s, from the 80s? I feel like we just want to just take people back very quickly, just to show you how far we've come from and why it is so crucial that under no circumstances we allow radicals, radical nutcases, radical lunatics to take us back to the dark days. Do we have those images from the 70s? It is B-roll, yes. Let's just show the images. Torn apart. Let's just keep rolling those images if we can. So I just want to take people back and just show. Scars left in Jamaica, and it was all against the backdrop of Bob Marley, the great Bob Marley, right? Trying to, build a bridge, emerging as this voice, the voice for the people, the voice for peace and social change. And he understood that Jamaica could never move forward if political hatred was going to consume the country, and he tried his best, and look what happened to him. And the reason I feel really passionate about this, right? So Donald Trump, as you know, there have been multiple assassination attempts on him. And I remember the first assassination attempt, it was on a Saturday. It was in Butler, Pennsylvania. And I remember when we got the call, jumped on a plane, went down to Butler, Pennsylvania. And I thought, is this a JFK? Is this the modern JFK moment where a US, former president at the time was assassinated? Obviously, he, survived by a milli inch of that bullet not hitting his skull. It, slid past his ears and over his face. And in each of these cases, we've seen people, they start off online with saying crazy things, they become radicalized, and then, oh no, let's just not worry about them. They're just crazies, they're fine. And then down the road, we see them carrying out extreme violence. So we look at Michael Manley, Edward Seaga, Bob Marley there holding both their hands. There's a One Love Peace concert in 1978 in an attempt to show that peace was essential if meaningful change was ever to take place, right? And Bob Marley's message was that politicians should never be beyond criticism, far from it. But we cannot be willing, despite our frustration, despite how strongly you might feel about the country, despite how rubbish and how inept or incompetent, whatever words you might want to use to describe the way the country's been governed, that you want to go back down that path. If you just let those images roll, I just want to show everybody those images, because those were the days when you'd have police officers, right? Police officers with their AR-17s, AK-45s in their hands on road corners, in ghettos and garrisons. You had people's, lives turned upside down, neighborhoods terrorized. Politicians, and we've said it time and time again, they are public servants, but they're also human beings, whether you like them or not. They're human beings. They have families, they have children, and no political disagreement is worth returning Jamaica to the dark days of political bloodshed. Do we have Head Boy? Head Boy, is Head Boy here with us tonight? Head Boy, who you guys might all be familiar with. I think he's going to come on with us and just have a quick chat with us, because I know we all appreciate him for his expertise and his knowledge of just the Jamaican political, scene and just the history. And I just want to get a sense from him tonight. If you're there, Head Boy, just give us a sense of how of how you feel in terms of. I know you won't turn your camera on, so we'll just take your audio. Of how you feel in terms of the current political climate in Jamaica. Do you feel as though things are pretty hot at the moment?
Good night to you, Noel. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Right. I before I respond to you, I want to just quickly set back the stage for where the political violence emerged in Jamaica, and nobody has really done justice to it. In that, in 1966, Jamaica saw its first state of emergency, declared by the then leader and Prime Minister of Jamaica, Sir Alexander Bustamante. And that came against the backdrop of violent uprisings in what we now call West Kingston. It was Kingston West, still Kingston Western. And that set the temperature for what we saw occurring during 1976 to the 1980s. So to respond to you, I want to say that I don't believe our people are that gullible anymore, that they would go down that road, but one has to be very careful that we don't have a few misinformed that will think that it is nice to go back down in that path that we have had over the, that blot in our history.
So, Head Boy, I hear you tonight, right? And I'm going to disagree with you because, like I said, I made the examples, right? And I've been, I remember when the first assassination attempt on Donald Trump happened, and then the second, and then the third one. And we all said, okay, we look at these people, they put things online, they appear to be normal people, people with kids, family, they go down rabbit holes and then they take matters into their own hands. I think we're living in a moment in history where we cannot underestimate people and what people might do. And whether that guy is serious, and what we might do, actually, we might just play, can we just play that clip again just for a moment?
Right.
The clip of the guy that was making the threat against the Prime Minister.
This is a message for Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness will be assassinated. He will be struck by a 50 caliber bullet from 500 yards out. Unexpected. At this time, his head will be explode. His head will explode. This is the head that Marcus Garvey prophesied that will roll. Andrew Old.
How do you feel hearing that, Head Boy, honestly?
There's no justification for the statement made by the gentleman. But I want to state, Noel, that if you understand that Andrew Holness has one of the largest security detail any Prime Minister in Jamaica has ever had, that's one. Two, the police force in Jamaica has increased their surveillance of individuals. I don't know if people are aware that they have also contracted an Israeli firm which is providing surveillance, whether it is via your phone, whether it's to follow up on the posts you make online. So we have the National Intelligence Bureau, and I can tell you, I am not someone who often speaks highly of our police services, our information services, intelligence gathering bodies, but I can tell you that the NIB is very effective at what it does, especially since the onset of the participation of the Israelis. Mark you, we don't know what arrangement they have with the government of Israel, But if you understand Israel,
Mm.
Israel has the ability to surveil. Yeah, there was also a discussion in the United States that Israel is also surveilling various individuals in high positions across the United States. So I will not downplay that what is happening, and the statements made by the gentleman is very alarming, to say the least. No matter how upset you are and angry you are, I don't think it should drive you to get there. But I want to add, Noel, that we must give the Jamaican people an accurate sense of where this political violence originated from. It originated in 1970, in the 70s. Well, I gave it the nexus of the 60s, but really, the 70s it was it was increased because Michael Manley dared to challenge the power class of Jamaica. And between 1972 to 70, before 76, there was no real attack on Michael Manley. The attack came when Michael Manley decided, because some companies now, you had the British West Indies this, British West Indies that. Most of the companies went by those names. When Michael Manley said, you can't now just change your name to Jamaica this, the Jamaica Biscuit this, or Jamaica Box like this. You now need to have employee shareholdership. That was what created the violence, because persons like, and I will say names because the reports are there to show, persons like who now sit in Andrew Holness's cabinet, Babsy Grange, former Minister Pernell Charles, a guy in Maypen by the name of Singh. If anybody know the song called Bodyguard, those persons were rounded up because they made similar threats and worse threats than what this man made. What they did say was that they were going to overthrow the government. And this is the basis and the genesis of that political violence in 76. In fact, the Evening Tide home that many of us talk about, the home for the elderly and some disabled, was firebombed. And we are now getting intelligence from the United States that was organized then by strong supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party. So the Edward Seaga cannot be separated from the political violence or the history of political violence that occurred in Jamaica. When he won in 1980, Edward Seaga started targeting persons who were aligned to the PNP. They removed many of them from ministries, but he started one of the worst attacks on people who studied in Cuba.
So, Headboy, I hear you, right? And I 100% appreciate that the context, and I think it's good historical context. My big thing is, right, Siaga, Manley, they're behind us, but it's important to know where the countries come from. And that's why I thought it was important that this picture that we have on screen, Jamaica doesn't want to go back to those days where if you wore a T-shirt, you'd be gunned down in the street or brutally murdered for supporting a political party. And it's good that significant progress has been made since then. The point that I'm trying to make, right, is that if that guy had said that about Mark Golding, if he had said it about Nikisha Burchell, if he had said it about Horace Chang, right, I would have had the same energy. I'm just big on actually, we exercise our democratic rights and we do things the proper way. Because if we're going to start, putting out messages and stuff like that on social media, that does a lot to damage democracy. That causes significant damage to democracy. So the question now is, has Jamaica become too angry? And if so, who is responsible? So I'm assuming by the looks of it, a lot of people may reflect that guy's sentiment, but probably don't want to carry out, murders, and end up in prison and whatever else might happen to them. But they are angry about the direction of the country. Are people just getting fed up in trying to, express their frustration at the ballot box, and therefore social media has become their sort of therapeutic places where they go and say things, not realizing the consequences of what their words can be or their actions?
Absolutely. Remember, social media has become a big veranda, and I think a lot of people forget that oftentimes what you say on social media has implications. But I want to go back to the gentleman who made the statements. And, I am not here to spew what would you call it, any conspiracy theory. But I know the capabilities of the National Intelligence Bureau in Jamaica. I know the capabilities of the Ministry of National
So do you
Security.
reckon he might be on their list, that they're going to go and get him at some point? He's going to be picked up.
I reckon if my view is that they should in fact have had him already. So I am surprised that they have not picked him up, because if you remember during the COVID, a young man in South St. Andrew, right, told the Prime Minister in no uncertain terms what he had to say. And within, as you will see the clips, a few moments later, they were able to pick him up. And how were they able to pick him up? Because they had just started using what we call geofencing, yeah? And they were also using the techniques that you have in intelligence community, that they could actually track you by your phone. They can track you by your social media. And in fact, Israel has perfected that art. We have seen where many...
Okay. Have we still got Head Boy? Or have we lost him?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Just wrap up your thoughts, Head Boy. Go ahead.
Quickly, so I'm saying that I will not buy totally this thing, because I know the capabilities of the police force. Let me put it to you that it could be that this is a plant. It could be. And we need to have that discussion as well. Was this man paid to do it? Was he paid to distract us from what is happening in the parliament with Andrew Wheatley and others, and with the Prime Minister and others? So we have to have, because there is no justification as to why they are not able to pick him up yet. None whatsoever. And that's where I'll heal to you.
All right, appreciate you, Head Boy. Thank you for your insight and analysis as always. Good to have your contribution tonight.
All the best. And by the way, Noel, keep up the good job. You're doing an excellent job.
Appreciate you, sir. Thank you. And you know, even if he was a plant, if he's just an idiot, if it's commercial foolishness, if this guy had a big spliff and was high and floating and decided that he wanted to do something stupid, I hope he's picked up and he's held to account. Regardless as to where you stand on politics, politicians are public servants. They are human beings as well, right? So let's not forget that Andrew Holness has a family. Threatening the Prime Minister and, saying, things that such as a bullet has your name on it and stuff like that. I think it's unacceptable and it's not right. And we should condemn it on both sides, whether it's the PNP politicians being targeted or the JLP politicians being targeted. We condemn it on both sides. So in a moment, we're going to hear from leader of opposition business, Philip Paulwell. He's here, so we're going to get to him in a moment. But first, let's get to the rest of your the headlines. Here's your Thursday evening news roundup. We begin with Cabinet Minister Audrey Marks denying claims that she had anything to do with the controversial deal that could see Jamaica receive up to 10,000 third country nationals from the United States.
I would not go to the United States to do any proposal for taking in 10,000 criminals. And what bothers me is that somehow they seem to have gained traction.
Mark says media reports have confused the TCN agreement with a separate proposal she delivered up to last year while serving as ambassador to Washington. She also suggested that this controversy may be politically motivated to tarnish her reputation.
It was evident that the public had been left with a deliberate, incomplete and misleading picture. It was evident that there was an attempt to do some character assassination. And it is important to note that the person who leaked the information about MOU being signed in the public domain had access to the MOU itself and could have released the MOU that would have debunked some of these allegations. They also had other documents, including the proposal that I had made and that showed how a structured work program would work and how the numbers could be increased. None of those documents were released in the public domain. So this was, again, a deliberate effort to confuse and to cause panic in the country. We need to understand the difference between scrutiny and character assassination. There is a difference between question a policy and manufacturing a false personal allegation. And when persons go online to threaten, defame, or allege that a foreign government is bribing a sitting member of the government, they are no longer engaged in ordinary political commentary. So when persons use private accounts or private channels to coordinate public harm, to spread allegations with no evidence, no basis, and no truth, they must understand that they will be held accountable.
A woman was stabbed to death at her home in Union District, Frankfield, Clarendon. She is believed to be 64-year-old Hyseth Rose Johnson. Police say Johnson was found with multiple stab wounds to the chest. Investigators are also probing the possibility that she may have been sexually assaulted as her body was discovered partially unclothed. And Hollywood star Danny Glover has revealed that he has been living with Alzheimer's disease for several years. The veteran actor, who has previously backed several charity initiatives supporting Jamaican children, said he decided to speak out about his diagnosis in the hope of raising awareness about the disease. We begin with
So we wish Danny well. Legendary actor there, battling Alzheimer's disease, something that I know affects a lot of people. So we're rooting for Danny there. And thanks to Danny for sharing his experience and speaking out about it and raising awareness. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to go straight to Mr. Paulwell.
Welcome to Golby Locks and Grow. We have a variety of skin and hair products that are 100% natural. Our products are developed by a certified cosmetologist located in Port Antonio. For skincare, we have body wash, body butter, body scrub, facial bars, and more. Our hair care products include powerful hair growth oils, shampoo, conditioners, hair moisturizers, and more. Visit our locations and feel free to follow us on Instagram at Golby Locks and Grow. Call us at 357-9996. Let us help you rejuvenate your natural beauty.
Need fast, reliable shipping to Jamaica? Allstate Caribbean Express Shipping offers convenient pickup and fast shipping of barrels, boxes, crates, and containers. We're family-owned, licensed, and the only company in New Jersey getting goods to Kingston in 7 days and to Montego Bay in 10 days. We provide professional packing and crating, free off-site estimates, consolidation to save you money, and all-risk marine insurance for peace of mind. To schedule your free estimate, call 862-257-9008 or 862-257-9005. Allstate Caribbean Express Shipping. Pack it, ship it, deliver it with care.
So good evening, everyone. We're going to turn our attention once again to the growing chaos and controversy inside Jamaica's parliament. The war of words between the government and opposition has intensified dramatically in recent days, with both sides accusing each other of undermining Jamaica's democratic traditions. Earlier today, the Jamaican Labour Party hit back strongly at claims by the opposition that parliamentary democracy is under threat, dismissing those allegations as what it called barefaced lies. The government has accused the opposition of deliberately disrupting proceedings and engaging in political theatre. So what we're seeing unfold inside this parliament, is it anything new? Or is it simply part of how Jamaican democracy has always functioned? Let's bring in Leader of Opposition Business, Philip Paulwell. Welcome to the show, sir. Welcome. Can you hear me, Mr. Paulwell? Okay, so Mr. Paulwell can't hear me. Okay, so Mr. Paulwell, if you want to leave and then come back in, that might help if you're technical. So if you just leave, okay, so he can't hear me. So what I'm going to do very quickly, I was asking the question a moment ago, is this anything new that we're seeing in Parliament? So let's just take a look at this report and we get a sense of what's been happening the last couple of months and finding out if it's a new phenomenon or if this is just the average or if this is just usual. Let's take a look.
Banging desks. Heated exchanges.
I have never seen anybody behave to any speaker the way she has done.
For weeks, tensions inside Jamaica's parliament have repeatedly boiled over, with clashes between government and opposition MPs dominating the headlines.
So for the benefit of the House and the public, I will cite Standing Order 13.3.
The latest confrontation came just days ago as opposition members staged a noisy protest inside the House, accusing Speaker Juliet Holness of unfairly restricting debate.
When the leader of government business or the leader of the opposition business seek to speak on an issue, they are allowed to speak. At least they're allowed to be heard. At least they're allowed to be heard as to what the issue is they want to raise. They don't have to come and ask you behind the speaker's chair what it is to clear it in advance. Anything procedurally that they wish to raise, they're allowed to raise on any item on the agenda. So the failure to allow the leader of opposition business to speak on the point he wanted to raise, which was to question why the Integrity Commission's annual report hasn't been tabled today, that was most improper in our view.
But parliamentary chaos is nothing new. Jamaica's Westminster system is modelled on that of the United Kingdom, where rowdy exchanges and political theatre have long been part of the tradition. The late Labour MP Dennis Skinner was known for being outspoken. This was the moment he was suspended from Parliament after calling then Prime Minister David Cameron Dodgy Dave.
This man has done more to divide this nation than anybody else. He's looked after his own pocket. I still refer to him as Dodgy Dave.
Back in Jamaica, there was chaos in Gordon House months ago after opposition MP Angela Brown Burke lifted the ceremonial mace during a debate on the controversial NARA bill. The move led to her being suspended from Parliament, and since then, government ministers have been accusing the PNP of undermining the work of the House.
I think there is a concerted and planned attempt to make you look like the villain at every sitting.
Parliament was designed to be a place of robust debate, and political clashes are by no means unique to Jamaica. But as tensions continue to rise, many are asking whether the country's lawmakers are setting the right example for the next generation.
Leader of opposition business, Philip Paulwell. Hopefully you can answer that for us tonight, Mr. Paulwell. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good evening, Noel. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay, all right.
So I'm going to get straight to it. The government says that the PNP's claims that democracy is under threat are nothing more than just lies. And that the PNP are hell-bent on performing and delivering political theatre every time Parliament is in session. How do you respond to that?
Well, I think that is absolutely ridiculous. I think the opposition has been quite responsible. The opposition has been vocal about the running of Parliament, and it is our right so to do. We are convinced that the current Speaker of our Parliament is not operating in the way previous speakers have in the past. And we can go all the way back to when the Parliament first started. The role of Speaker is important. In fact, it is crucial to the functioning of our democracy. And it is also to be noted that even though the Speaker is from the government side, the Speaker ought to give greater accord, really, to the minority in the Parliament by virtue of the fact that we are minorities. So we do need greater protection from the government. We do need to get our voices heard. And I don't believe that our current Speaker understands and appreciates that role, which is so crucial for the smooth functioning of our Parliament. Again, I concede that it is the government side that the Speaker is from, but once you get into that chair, you no longer represent the government. You are the arbiter, the official umpire, and you ought not to be taking sides. And from day one, especially since the last general elections, we have seen this current speaker not abiding by those cherished principles that we have always taken for granted. The speaker is renowned for citing standing orders, and oftentimes she's not correct. And the point has to be made that our standing orders are quite brief. They don't anticipate all the types of issues that would arise at the parliament level. And so to a large extent, a lot of it is dependent on the role of reasonableness, the fact that we anticipate that the person who sits in the chair will always, in using discretion, go for what is reasonable. And so you're not going to find specific standing orders for all the issues that we are faced with. For example, let me just give you one example, which is the latest one that occurred on Tuesday. There is an item on the agenda known as announcements. It is at that point where the clerk of the parliament announces to the parliament those matters that have come to be tabled in the parliament. And over years upon years, when you get to that item, there are certain things that we need clarification on. I remember my colleague, Ronnie Thwaites from Central Kingston. He would rise almost every Tuesday, or whenever the parliament sits, to inquire why a certain report has not been tabled. And these are usually financial statements for various statutory boards. He was always making the point that so many of our boards do not report in a timely way based on the laws that govern them. I have risen from time to time to ask why are the reports from cabinet, which ought to be presented to the parliament, not being done. And so I got up on Tuesday to inquire, why is the report, this is an annual report from the Integrity Commission, why is that report not being tabled today, that being Tuesday? I was not even allowed to ask that question. No, tell me. If you go back to that standard of reasonableness, what would have, why wouldn't the speaker want to hear that question if she was anticipating it? And why couldn't she respond? She could respond in a number of ways. But why not allow me, as the leader of opposition business, the person who has all right to inquire about the process, what is happening in the parliament, to ask a simple question. You know, before the speaker, the way we used to operate, and I used to be leader of government business, and I would always consult with the leader of opposition business. And together, we determine what is on the agenda and how some of the thorny issues are to be dealt with. It was never the speaker who would join into that fray. The speaker would probably come in when you can't have agreement. And invariably, we would be able to have agreement, the leader of government business and leader of opposition business. And that's how the parliament ought to operate. Now we find the speaker getting in the middle of those potential conflicts and taking sides. And it's always the side of the government. So I believe that we have to call the speaker out, and we have to call her out every single time it happens, because it is causing the opposition to feel as if that we don't have a voice, and it is in fact thwarting the role that we ought to play in a dynamic democracy.
I mean, there is so much to unpack off that, Mr. Paulwell, and I'm going to go through my little list here. I've made it a little list. Would you say tonight that you, as well as the People's National Party, have lost confidence in Juliet Holness as Speaker of the House?
I think the Speaker of our Parliament has demonstrated her inability to bring leadership to the position of chair of the Parliament in a way that will enable the opposition to maintain confidence in her role. And I think there has to be some reset at this point, because if it continues, then there will be a total loss of confidence. And what we, in the debate on Tuesday, when we were debating the motion for the review of the standing orders, a number of the members asked for just that, a complete reset. I recently, in fact, about a month ago, when we had a similar uproar, I put it to the leader of government business that what might be necessary is for himself, myself, and the speaker, outside the glare of the cameras, to retreat and sit down to work out a way for the Parliament to function without the level of upheavals that we've been having. That hasn't happened as yet. I see no reason why we can't, as reasonable people, come to an arrangement that will enable us to proceed in a way that does not create this type of uproar. It hasn't happened, and I believe the time is now right for that to happen.
Would you, I mean, it's really interesting hearing all of this, right? Because I think we all watch the clips every week and we see those confrontations, and we don't often see behind the scenes what happens. Have you had the opportunity as a leader of opposition business to perhaps pull her to one side to try and have a conversation? I know you said that you wanted that group meeting with her, but has there been any moment where you tried to talk to her to try and give her a sense of how you're feeling or how your members are feeling about the way she's conducting business?
Oh yes, all the time, all the time. You know, the funny thing is that the leader of government business and myself, we get along very well enough. We have no issues with us. We speak before the commencement of Parliament. We normally do so on a Monday. We go through the agenda. We decide on what bills are going to be taken and what will be deferred, and so on and so forth. And we've had no real issues in the way we do our consultation and in the agreements.
So, Mr. Paulwell, so is she the problem?
Yes, and it is because of her deliberateness in injecting herself into the arena. You know, Parliament is an arena where you have, for want of a better word, combatants, people who are arguing with each other, people who are trying to get the upper hand with each other, because we are in a competitive environment. The Speaker has no business inside of that. What the Speaker ought to do, when the two sides have resolved these issues and we are agreed. So, for example, when we commenced the sectoral debate, the leader of government business and myself agreed that the first two speakers, one on the government side and one on the opposition side, that they'll be given an extra 10 minutes. We sat down and we agreed. He put it in writing to me. And then when we shared that with the speaker, she said, no, not over my dead body. I run this place. And she ended that. And that's how we continue to spiral down into this problem of conflict.
We often hear the word, whenever we hear of the speaker, words like bully, bias. She is deliberately trying to sabotage the PNP. She's trying to silence members. Are those justified words to use to describe her behavior at the moment?
Yes, and it is palpable. There is a new microphone system in the Parliament. and it is controlled entirely by the Speaker of the Parliament. So she can allow you to speak, and she can turn you off. And we have seen, again, in a biased way, where government members can be as irrelevant as they wish, can raise endless points of order, so issues that don't really amount to being points of order. And on the other side now, she's quick to turn off the microphone of not only your ordinary members on the opposition side, but the leader of the opposition, and of course, the leader of opposition business. Those things never occurred before. There is always deference given to the leadership in the Parliament, including the leader of government business, the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, and so too on the other side. It is not the case anymore. So yes, there is definitely a level of bias, a level of unfairness in the way the Parliament is being run. And I believe, as others have said, time for a reset, because if that doesn't happen, then you're going to see the behavior getting worse. I promise you that.
Would you go as far as saying tonight that the Speaker of the House should resign?
No, I'm not there as yet. I believe that the government has a responsibility to ensure that the Parliament conducts itself in a certain way, and that there are senior persons in the government who can bring their weight to deal with this matter. Again, I believe it is a simple matter. Allow the leaders in the House, the leader of government business and the leader of opposition business, to run the House, to manage the procedures of the House. The Speaker is to enable an environment for people to participate, to ask questions, to do debate. But she's not to get involved in those contentious issues. One of the points I raised in my sectoral presentations, the fact that for the first time, the Speaker sits on a committee representing the government. So she sits on the Public Administration and Accountability Committee, an administration committee of Parliament, PAAC. Now, those discussions at PAAC are usually contentious matters where government tries to shield from the public certain issues, and the opposition tries to ensure that those issues are not shielded. Now, the Speaker has no business sitting on the side of the government in those committee meetings, trying to perform the role as an active member from the government perform, because she is the Speaker and she's supposed to be above the fray. So she has no business being on committees of that nature, right? I believe that it is not too late for good sense to prevail, for the Prime Minister, as high as that, to intervene, to settle what ought not to have been this runaway level of biasness and unfairness in the way the Speaker performs.
I mean, Mr. Paulwell, if she's that tough in Parliament with you guys, then maybe he can't tell her what to do. Maybe she won't listen to him. Maybe she's running the show and she's doing what she wants and leading how she wants to lead.
I have no comments on that. All I will say is that if we're going to have 4.5 more years of this kind of battle in our Parliament, it doesn't look good. It doesn't encourage young people it doesn't encourage anybody to want to listen to what goes on in our Parliament. The Parliament is the highest law, well, it is the lawmaking body in the country. And people ought to want to visit, ought to want to watch on TV, ought to want to know what is happening, young people ought to want to be involved and be encouraged to get involved by seeing their representatives perform in Parliament. The way it is being conducted now, nobody is finding it a place where people can learn, people can understand the runnings of the country.
What do you want to say to the Prime Minister tonight? If you're speaking directly to Mr. Holness, what do you want to say to him?
Well, I think the entire government has to come to understand that even though they are government, they ought to operate in a way to facilitate the opposition. One day they're going to be back in opposition, and no system can function if your entire role is to silence the opposition. You know, recently, as these issues arise, I seek legal opinion from the Parliamentary Legal Counsel, the lawyer who advises the Parliament. And invariably, the questions that I raise, for which I know the answers to, those answers, when they are forthcoming, accord with my position. So, for example, in a committee meeting recently, while we were sitting debating the NARA bill, the Speaker declared that no opposition member can, in the committee, make or propose amendments to the bill. We were shut down for trying to propose amendments to the bill. She said it can't happen. I wrote the legal counsel the next day, and in another 24 hours, we got the response that she was wrong. Recently, the ethics committee tried to deal with a matter involving my colleague, Dennis Gordon, where they had granted approval for an exemption that came before the Parliament in terms of his business, and the matter was dealt with, and then they're trying to bring the issue back before the ethics committee for a reconsideration of that exemption motion. And again, I wrote to the Parliamentary Council, and she said that the opposition is correct in what we were saying. And there are some other issues as well. So when you have those decisions going against you, a government ought to take them seriously. And there are other persons, there are senior persons on the government side who can say to the Speaker, listen, time for a reset. The way the thing has been managed has been wrong. We need we need a different approach. We need greater accommodation. We need greater reasonableness. And it is not a classroom situation where you're every Tuesday, you're admonishing members of the opposition for doing what they are there to do.
Just a final couple of questions, Mr. Paulwell. What does a reset look like? I've heard that word multiple times. What does that look like?
Yes. Well, for me, it ought to start with a sitting down. There are certain things that I would like to put to the Speaker in the presence of the leader of government business as to how the Parliament should be conducted. What are the things that are acceptable? And we can agree on what are some of those things that are not acceptable. And my side is always willing to go by any agreement. So the reset starts there. The next phase of the reset, having achieved a greater level of accommodation and allowing the leaders in the Parliament to run the Parliament, the next step is to now look at the standing orders that govern the operation of the Parliament and to do a complete review of those standing orders. There's a standing orders committee. In fact, we are meeting next week. I believe that the government ought to allow for those changes that we are going to be proposing to be accommodated because they are reasonable changes. And over time, I believe the relationship can improve. I do hope so.
And I hope, sir, you will come back and let us know how that goes, because I think there's a lot of people watching in Jamaica and out and from afar on the drama, the weekly drama that is unfolding inside Gordon House. I do want to shift attention very quickly, if I may, Mr. Paulwell, and just ask you about Audrey Marks. I know the TCN is an issue that your party has been talking about a great deal, calling for transparency and accountability. The ambassador, the minister, she's come out today to say that she had no part to play in orchestrating the deal, the agreement with the US, and that people need to give her a break. She's got nothing to do with it. How do you feel about all of this? Where do you stand?
The minister speaks about issues being conflated by the media, and I don't think it's the media that is responsible for whatever confusion that exists. It's the government that has caused this confusion, and you hear different stories from different ministers as they speak on the issue. What we're saying, if you have nothing to hide, present to the parliament the entire agreement. Let us look at it. Let us advise the country of the details of it, and let us not try to hide, because that is the impression that has been created by this government. And if you're being forced to do certain things, why not come out and say that this is the position? I don't think to behave in this manner, which is lacking transparency, is one that augurs well for the country, and especially in the business of foreign affairs. So I think we are as confused as we were day one when the Gleaner revealed this episode.
Should Wheatley go?
Pardon? Should
Dr. Wheatley remain in Parliament, or is it time for him to go?
Well, it's not a matter of remaining in Parliament, because it is the electorate that put him there, and the practice.
Or resign from government, rather.
Yes, I think it is reasonable. Once these charges are raised against you as a member of the cabinet, you will have to step aside until the matters are cleared up. And I think that's all that we are calling for.
Mr. Paulwell, really appreciate you doing this tonight and coming and just speaking directly to the people and just giving us a sense of what is happening behind the scenes. And I feel like I've got a real rich context now that I think will allow me to watch proceedings a little bit more differently now. And I think everyone here, regardless of their politics, are going to just be hoping that people like yourself and everyone else who are inside Gordon House, who is sent by the people to represent the people, will get issues addressed, and we're not seeing this drama, this these theater and performative performances play out week after week. I think the people want to see delivery, that they want to see things getting done. So hopefully, I'm hoping that things might rectify, and the speaker might give you guys the opportunity to do your jobs and to speak your minds.
It's our abiding hope as well, but trust me, as an opposition, we're just not going to settle for this type of treatment. All the best. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you. Thank you. So really interesting there, isn't it? Just sort of hearing and getting, getting a sense, because Mr. Paulwell, I think he was front and center of that debate on Tuesday night, wasn't he? When all the chaos was unfolding and the speaker was telling him to sit down, and then you had the leader of the opposition banging the desk and all the other MPs banging the desk in protest because they wanted to speak their minds. Let me bring in now my next guest. Is he ready? Is he ready? You're on mute. Get off mute.
Greetings, Jamaica. I know you are all waiting for me to burn Jamaica tonight. Noel Phillips, thank you for holding the first hour and a half of this program.
So is the fire brigade on standby? Because I know you are about to unleash.
But see if you'll get the fire brigade and call them.
Ball out!
Tell them to be on standby for me now.
Ball out!
I must say that you're doing an exceptional job on PDTV. Might as well I take a vacation soon. You're
Don't you
holding
dare.
you're
Don't you dare.
holding the numbers here. You are doing the kind of investigative work and you're adding value to the platform. And I must publicly commend you for the work that you're doing with the platform. The hours of meeting, the hours of editorial meetings, the hours of production meetings, the hours of graphic meetings, all of that media, digital meetings, Jamaica. I can tell you from morning till night. Sometimes Courtney said, "Boy, Andre, I'm tired," but it is all in the interest of making this platform better, greater. Noel says, Jamaica, that he's committed to working with me and PDTV team to carry this platform to another level. With 16 years of active journalism and with the multitude of awards, I want to.
Is that the fire brigade? I think
Ball out!
No, well, I want that.
Ball out!
The fire brigade outside, Andre, that they've arrived. So you got to go and burn. Go and burn. Go and
Now,
burn
Jamaica,
whatever you need to burn. Okay.
let me take a commercial break, and when I come back, the teacher will talk on Andre Takes. I just have to remind some people I want to talk to Nationwide tonight. And when I'm finished with Nationwide, I want to talk to some of those young MPs in Gordon House.
Looking for the perfect Airbnb in Jamaica? Heart's Desire Rentals has the ideal stay for every traveller. Choose from our stylish 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom accommodations in Kingston and St Anne, designed for comfort, convenience and relaxation. Enjoy modern amenities, 24-hour security, gated parking and easy access to shopping, dining and entertainment. Or unwind at Heart's Desire Marina Villas in Draxhall Estate, St Anne, featuring a private beach, swimming pool, gym, tennis courts and stunning coastal views. Whether you're travelling for business, a romantic getaway or a family vacation, your perfect Jamaican getaway is just a click or call away. Explore all our properties online. Heart's Desire Rentals, where luxury meets comfort and every stay feels like home. We look forward to hearing from you, so book your stay today.
Jamaica, good night again. Before I start this show tonight, the next hour, I will be here for at least an hour. The children are the future and the children need the support to go back to school. I'm asking 20 persons tonight to put 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 or $100. You see the work that I do for the children of Jamaica. It's not a dolly house business. As a community mobilizer, I use this platform not for propaganda, but to get the work done. I know a lot of you tonight. Jamaica, are waiting for me to start. But I can't start until I see the GoFundMe move up. I have 300 students. Today I went to a graduation, as you can see. And I spoke at that graduation to almost 80 students going into high school at Waterford Primary. I'll have the videos in subsequent broadcast showing you the conversation I had with the children today at Waterford Primary. I say that to say, Jamaica, these children, Courtney, have to go back to school. Many of you saw me today. Somebody said the red was radiant. I went to Waterford Primary 23 years ago. I sound like an old man, don't it, Courtney? 23 years ago, I graduated at Waterford Primary. And today I had the capacity to speak to the graduates and remind them about the crisis they have endured and the achievements they have to go for it. But 10 of these students need to get the grants that I will be giving away this year. And I am asking the students who are listening to my platform tonight. If you're listening, if you want to see my speech, you can go to Auntie Claudette's page and you will see my speech. But I'm equally asking Jamaica for you to support the GoFundMe. I'm not taking it on the Zelle. I'm taking it through the GoFundMe. All right? The GoFundMe is very important that we let me pin it in the comments, guys, because I'm going to go somewhere tonight and I know a lot of you are going to say, yes, teacher. I'm asking you all tonight to support the GoFundMe. I'm pinning it in the comments. I'm pinning it in the comments, Jamaica. I'm asking tonight for you all to support the GoFundMe and let us do our part. Thank you, Mr. Kenneth. Mr. Kenneth, donate. It's 3 nights now, come on. Mr. Kenneth, donate at $20 or $30 every night. If I even have 100 of those persons, the GoFundMe is now at $3,800. I want before the end of the week to reach $5,000. Can we get another $200 in the GoFundMe tonight, and then we do a nice little marathon tomorrow to get it where it needs to get? I don't need to call Cartel to do anything. It's Audrey, Stevens, and PDTV doing their part still again. So if we can do our part in advancement, that will be a good thing. Now, Jamaica. Remember that I have Friday market tomorrow. I have some nice rose breadfruit. I have some nice green plantains. I have green bananas. All of those things, all of those things at the market tomorrow. Stop by at the market, or if you can't stop by at the market tomorrow, you stop by on Saturday to get all of those good things, Jamaica. Now, I want to say to Mr. Paulwell, thank you, Sir Paulwell, for joining my platform tonight. I made sure to make you comfortable. I did not go out of my way to say I wanted to do the interview. I asked Noel, can you facilitate the interview? So, right, Courtney? So that the conversation could have a free flow. So thank you, Sir Paulwell, for joining PDTV tonight and to making it work. We thank you. Now, Jamaica, can you set a rat trap? Can you set a rat trap? Can you set a rat trap, Matthew or Drayden? Let me start talking tonight. I need to deal. I want.
All right. Partner draw. Partner draw. Andre. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. With the two for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. With the two for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat.
No. Thank you, Miss Millie. I want to say tonight, Jamaica, that I want to talk to Cliff Hughes tonight. Cliff Hughes, is that what Nationwide reached to? I know some of Frefre and Baga from what they are. I know some of Frefre and Baga. The member of parliament for East Portland was on Perry Cummings Jr. program last night, I gather. And there was satire Courtney and conversation about Una Beard and all of them gibberish and rubbish. And that is what Nationwide decided to carry on broadcast. I'm going to say it again, Courtney. A conversation about a member of parliament not bearding, or a conversation about a member of parliament putting on this or that, and who beard and who depend only fans and them something. That is what make news media.
What can go so?
Is that what make news media, Courtney? You are telling me the member of parliament, more likely, you know he's always joking. Can't take him serious. Majority of times his mouth is just unfiltered. And I don't know when him going to learn. But the point is Jamaica. The man said what he said. And uno take upon himself. Uno very baga nationwide. We are, let me tell you how nationwide baga Courtney. The country needs to hear about the 2 new IC report. The country needs to know about the secret MOU. The country is demanding that Weekly resign. And you, in your editorial newsroom, you take up Isaac Buchanan about him non-building argument and put that in a news.
What can go so?
As so una seek relevance in this country. As so Courtney, them seeking relevance in this country. I don't know about sarcastic or what. The point is Jamaica. There are certain things a newsroom don't put up because they are just bedroom childish satirical talks. So when I see nationwide take up the garbage, cause it's garbage, the conversation had nothing substantive or substantial. But you, Cliff Hughes, think that because your viewership is so low, carry something that is what? Sensational, Courtney. Forget people talking. You're garbage nationwide. You're utter garbage. And you, Cliff Hughes, and I'm not even disappointed. I know you're trying to compete with new media. I know Courtney is trying to compete with new media. But you can never get the numbers that Andre Stevens get, Cliff Hughes. Good day, bad day, or no day at all. But you, Cliff Hughes, you have lost your purpose in investigative journalism. You should be ashamed that simple platforms like PDTV are run your foot hot. Hot. Everybody comes to this platform seeking news. I say that to say, Jamaica, that Revolt has lost its purpose in new media. Ball out! I know those things about men not bathing and men in beard and so is of importance to you because probably you yourself not bathe and you put on the cologne, Cliff Hughes. I'm going to deal with your business. But I'm going to say Jamaica. Because an Andre is going to talk truth, cost it what it will. When I heard a member of parliament for East Portland, in his utterance, arguing that perhaps women should not be in the parliament, Mr. Buchanan, I'm going to say to you, Mr. Buchanan, 70% of those who vote, probably 80% of those who voted for you in East Portland are women. Majority of who champion you in this country, Mr. Buchanan, are women. Portia Lucretia Simpson Miller set the pathway for parliamentarians in this country, female parliamentarians in this country. I understand there is an issue where there is a tit for tat Courtney, Nikisha, and what's her name? Bigfoot. However, it is not an issue of gender. It's not an issue of sex. It's not an issue of gender or sex. It's an issue where a woman decides to bully everyone. She not just bully the woman them. She bully Fitz Jackson Courtney. She bully Paulwell. She bully this. She bully that. She bully everybody. So it's not a matter of sex or gender, Mr. Buchanan. Ball out! It's a matter, Mr. Buchanan. I always advise you to read the room. I always remind you, Sir Buchanan, in our very good times of chatter, to read the room. So people are going to misconstrue Courtney to say that the arguments are misogynistic. But I, Andre Stefano Stevens, I remember I looked at you, Mr. Buchanan, and I said to you, you have a very good pathway heading into the politics. You got a very good pathway heading into the politics. Do not waste it. Mr. Buchanan, I will say this to you with the greatest of love as my very good former friend. Listen to me, Mr. Buchanan, and listen to me well. Too many political mongrels are around you. Too many political mongrels are around you. Too many political mongrels are around you. Shed yourself of the political mongrels. Shed yourself of the political mongrels, or it is going to cost you. Mark my word, it is going to cost you dearly returning to Gordon House a second term. Shed yourself of the political mongrels, or I can tell you, Mr. Buchanan, you are going to feel it. I don't need to say anything more. But remember, it is the woman who championed you. It's the woman who coalesced around you and made sure you are where you are today. So, read the room, learn the room. Read the room and learn the room. The amount of messages I got from women today. And you see, when you're in a war politically, Mr. Buchanan, not everything you say. Not everything you say. A lot of women are upset because nationwide pick up, turn round and make it look like. Remember that the average Jamaican don't read and they don't listen with context. So you as the political leader, you have to make sure that you do what? Observe more. Speak less. And when it is time for you to speak, make sure it is solid. Let me take a commercial break now, Jamaica. And when I come back, I'm going to talk to Audrey Marks tonight.
I know a place.
Elegance, the Jamaica Pegasus Ballroom Experience, Sunday, July 19, 2026. Featuring Crazy Chris, Master Rod, Welton Irie, DJ VJ Snow. Every song is a video. Classic souls of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. A momentous occasion where fashion meets style. The best dressed couple and the best dressed dancer will receive $1,000 US respectively. Isn't that nice? Hors d'oeuvres and wine will be served. Admission $10,000. VIP experience $15,000. The experience begins at 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Part proceeds to the JCF Convalescence Home in St. Elizabeth.
Every Sunday night, DJ Courtney presents Courtney Soul Sundays. Pull up at Clock Tower Plaza, Halfway Tree, Kingston, Jamaica. From 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., pure vibes, sweet soul, and good energy. Hang out, relax, and feel the music.
When the sun goes down and the lights get low, feel that rhythm in your heart, let it take control.
Not cooking on a Sunday and need a nice plate of food, yeah man, check out PD Kitchen. The menu is traditional and exquisite at the same time, so there's something for you. You can place your order and pick up or have it delivered to you. You choose. Yeah, so this is the Sunday special, so every Sunday the menu will be different. What I got was the Appleton glazed barbecue chicken along with the yard style curry goat. On the side was gungo peas and rice with baked mac and cheese. On a Sunday, or enjoy anywhere. For me, it's nature.
Yes, Jamaica, welcome back. Remember, the kitchen opens tomorrow and I need all the support in the kitchen. Now, Jamaica, I'm ready for George Davis tonight. Right, Courtney? I'm ready for Audrey Marks. And I'm ready for the government. What do I mean by that? You have now heard Courtney, Audrey Marks coming out, explaining what was in the agreement, what wasn't. Audrey Marks says somebody leaked it to the public and they should have given you the secret MOU. So if it's a secret MOU, how would they leak it to the public? And I listened carefully, Courtney. And some would say they are very good at media monitoring. I am very good also at monitoring the media. And I listened to the sentiments today. And I listened how they placed Audrey Marks on Nationwide. I want Jamaica to listen to the interview. Audrey Marks on Nationwide. Listen to this, Jamaica. I want you to.
Internally, we got the MOU request from the United States Embassy in January. And so the discussions would have started within the government, looking at, how do we respond? How do we, it's a long-standing ally, how do we work with them? How do we conclude something that would make sense for both countries? I attended one meeting, and in that was in February, and at that meeting, I broached the topic of looking at how we could introduce the structured migration program. In the discussions going on, it was decided to keep it separate, and we moved on. So in March, when I went to the meeting, the anti-cartel meeting in Miami, there are persons there from different departments. And in a meeting on the margin, I again brought up the structured migration program that I've been discussing the year before and said this is something that is still very important for an ally like Jamaica. We would be looking, and that program includes both the seasonal work program we are currently operating, which has a cap of about 20,000 persons. We think it could increase to 200,000. There's a demand need in the U.S. now with the change in migration policies. And it also looked at getting in skilled workers. And that is where I said we could probably get about 10,000 skilled workers over time. Right. And this is how it would work.
So just stick up in, Minister, it's very important. So the 10,000 number did come from you, but the 10,000 only relates to the worker exchange and had nothing to do with TCN.
Not at all. And how I came up, because I actually did a detailed document looking at how this would benefit from all the reports we are getting from the various sectors. I did a detailed document looking at what type of workers we need, how we could assimilate workers coming in. And I actually looked at the 775 communities in Jamaica and said, even a cap of 20 per community, we're looking at about 15,000 persons. So I had a 10,000 number that we could start at in managing, and I worked out the details of it. And that would have been from last year, March or so.
Jamaica. Hey. Are you ready for me to start the probing tonight? Are you ready for me to start the probing tonight? Just a moment, Jamaica. Because when I am through tonight, some of them head I go hot them. Right, Courtney? Yeah. First of all, now, Courtney, Audrey Marks says two different deals. One for laborers and one for prisoners. I want to say to Jamaica tonight, how can the U.S. supply Jamaica with labor force when the U.S. has a significant deficiency in identifying labor force workers in the United States? What is the purpose of the farm work program, Courtney? Audrey Marks, what is the purpose of the farm work program? Not for carry laborers go to the United States and Canada because there's a significant shortage of labor workers. The Lulu, come here. Come here, the Lulu. Come here. At the Lulu, you know, Courtney. It's a serious the Lulu. The Lulu! Come here, the Lulu. Audrey, find her picture for me. Because she's so much in the line now that she turned the Lulu. The Lulu! Where did the U.S., where would you able to, if you are going to the U.S. in a Courtney? Yeah. That means you should have got to the Department of Labor, you know. How she end up at the Department of Homeland Security? Only not get it. She says she got to negotiate to get 10,000 laborers in a Jamaica. And the more the Labour Party talks, is the more them put them hand in a body hole. Yeah, man, them put them hand in a body. Because she is talking some the Lulu statement. The Lulu to the point, Courtney. The Lulu to the point that something is off. I am going to ask you again, Courtney. Jamaica. If you are going to get laborers in your country or have a labor agreement, wouldn't it be the Department of Labor? Yeah. So, Colonel Charles never did a meeting there, Junior. Now, even the Minister of Labor and Social Security. Colonel Charles never part of that meeting. Colonel Charles as the Minister of Labor never a part of the meeting, as remarks. Come on, the Lulu. He's a pretty dunce, you know. He's a certain pretty dunce. The more them talk Jamaica is the more them put them hand in a batty hole. Now, Jamaica. Why can't Audrey Marks and the government of Jamaica reveal Courtney? Why can't Audrey Marks and the government of Jamaica reveal, like how the Antiguan government is revealing the white paper? Are you aware? Let me break some news to you tonight. Breaking news, because some of you don't know. Matthew, break the news for me now. Breaking news. Prime Minister of Antigua. Hi. Says his government will publish the white paper on the relocation of the TCNS workers. The transnational. Right, Courtney? So if Antigua, Jamaica, if Antigua is willing to give the white paper to the government and the people of Antigua, how then the Jamaican government, Courtney, the Jamaican government is not willing to share that document with you all? How then, Courtney, if Antigua get the third party nationals and they decide to show the country, the opposition, members of the private sector, members of the church, the agreement, why then can't Andrew Holness show the agreement? Why then can't Arias Sang show the agreement? Why then, Jamaica? Only now ball out with me tonight. I better not go ball out. I get ball out. I got a document today. Before I go into the document, Courtney, a lot of people are wondering, right? How much money, Courtney, has countries gotten for this deal. Jamaica, I want you to go to my WhatsApp channel tonight. I'm going to give you a story tonight. And you're going to read with me through it. Because I was... It's look here. Go look on that. Matthew, put it up big on the screen. Today, you know the US love me, don't it, Courtney? Look here, Jamaica. When you want to see it, I'm putting it on the WhatsApp channel now. I share a document on the WhatsApp channel. Don't it, Courtney? Look at that. Jesus died in the Savior. The below chart. No, take off that one and put on back the next one, Matthew. Let me deal with that first. The below chart details the cost of third country deportations as of January 2026 to the 5 countries that the Trump administration had provided statement payments in exchange for agreeing to accept third country nationals. El Salvador, $4.76 million US, Courtney. The number of third country nationals, 250. You hear that, Courtney? Yeah. The estimated cost per head, $20,755. $20,755. That is how much? That is $3 million in Jamaica.
What can go so?
Rwanda, Manda Kuturu Bunda Satai. 7.5 million US. Estimated cost per flight, 1.1 million. Rwanda get 1.1 million US dollars per one. And as 7 people go to Rwanda. Hey. It's the one here whatsoever it name. 5.1 million. Estimated cost per flight, 1.1 million. 15 persons go Estonia with the country name. 413,000 US dollars, Courtney, per head. Equatorial Guinea, $7.5 million. The estimated cost per flight, 681,000. Equatorial Guinea got how much? 29. Therefore, it was 282,000 US, Courtney. Palau agreement. You not get that yet. Jamaica. The government of Jamaica is getting 10,000 of them. The government of Jamaica is getting 10,000 of them. But when you look into this document that I got, Courtney, it says no oversight of US funds to foreign governments. There is what, Courtney? No oversight of the money that the State Department gives to the countries involved in this. Listen to this. Listen to this now, Jamaica. Hey, them now do the match with me, no, Courtney. Hey. They're not doing the match with me tonight, and I think we need to do the match with me tonight, Jamaica. If one country I get one head for all $1 million US, you don't see why Andrew Wellness make the deal sign secret. You don't know understand why Wellness make sure the deal secret. Hey, Kwane, ball out! Ball out! Whoa!
Help. We hear the
We
letter.
need your divine intervention. We're tired of the labor rights. We're tired of
In this part, it says that, put it up on the screen, big Matthew. Despite spending 32 million to 5 foreign governments for third country deportation, them now said third country nationals in a Courtney. You hear what the US said? Third country deportation deal. There is no evidence that the State Department is conducting follow-ups or oversight on the use of the taxpayers' money in the United States. In an unusual move, the Trump administration has provided these funds directly to foreign governments rather than through trusted third-party implementing partners who conduct regular monitoring and oversight, making it more challenging for the State Department to track the use of the funds. The State Department is also not using a third-party auditor to track the use of the money. Instead, the State Department appears to be relying on the foreign governments themselves. So the State Department, Courtney, is depending on the government of Jamaica. Instead, they are using the government of Jamaica to do what? For some, with a clear, them here, this is a part of Courtney. Matthew, bring it up big. The State Department is also not using a third-party auditor on the foreign governments themselves. Some with a clear history of corruption and mismanagement. You want them say, Kwani? Matthew, ball out! Some
ball out! Whoa, yo.
What can go so?
Matthew, ball out!
Ball out! Whoa, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift.
This is the part that a lot of people don't see. No. Matthew, put it up. The last sentence in paragraph 2. The last sentence in paragraph 2. Some with a clear history of corruption or mismanagement to report to the use of the U.S. state government funding. Jamaica. So, I want Audrey Marks to tell me tonight, if she never approached the U.S., who did? Somebody had to. Why not? No, I understand why Paymaster come out. Could it be? After you heard about this Paymaster, I wonder if Paymaster will be the process how these third-party nationals will get their pay and them regularly upkeep and all of them something there. Audrey in the garden. So you dirty batty Jerry, you never do the investigative work to find that document, to question why would the U.S. decide to make Jamaica a dumping ground for 10,000 non-immigrants deportee? You know, see why Daryl Vaz asked for 5 more years. Oh, no, see why Daryl Vaz asked for 5 more years. Now you understand why Andrew Holness says them can win. Them can win the next election and get a 4th term.
What can go so?
No, Jamaica, you are understanding. You want me to give you another part of the report? Say go deeper. If you don't want me go deeper, 5 more people have figured to go up for me tonight. If you don't want me go dear Jamaica, if you don't want me dig it up, Courtney, mash it up, snack it up, bend over, cock over, and deal with them. No, Jamaica. 10,000. The average them I get at 20,000 US per one, you know. The average them I get at 20,000 US, you know, per one. The average, Courtney, they're getting per head Why can't the Prime Minister? Why can't the Prime Minister? I want to go deep. I think maybe cock it up and back it up tonight, Jamaica.
David was one of the greatest musicians. And I hear this musician play that. Give God glory, musician. Tell them, play a little David. Play a little David. Play me David. Play a little.
No, Jamaica, you see, that is why you have to sit on this platform to give you the truth. Because how Deion Jackson or Emily Shields or Cliff Hughes never get access? So how the United States government never gonna access to this document? How Andre Stevens get the document and only not get it? Good night to the United States government. I really want to talk to you tonight, Audrey Marks. The conclusion from what I saw, Jamaica. Listen to this part. The Trump administration used a third country deportation has been costly and ineffective, with no measurable impact towards the stated goals. These deportation deals have transferred more than 32 million US dollars in taxpayers' funds to foreign countries with credible histories of corruption, Courtney, human rights abuse, isn't that a Jamaican reality? And mismanagement without meaningful oversight and accountability. So that means that Trump studied you all. Know the kind of democracy that exists in Jamaica. Knows the kind of Frefre Dongo and Kete government. Knows the kind of Daryl Vaz, Andrew Holness, Audrey Marks, Desmond McKenzie, Babsy Grange, Juliet Holness. And says, this is a prime opportunity, Courtney. This is a melting ground. This is a black state of corruption. So I want to ask you tonight, Audrey Marks. Show us the 10,000 laborer agreement. Courtney, remember she said 2 agreement, you know. Remember she said 2 agreement. But because we ban fool, Courtney. Because we ban us big head burden. Because I must be get bud me and you be. Sure we Audrey where Uncle Trump say he gonna give you 10,000 laborers from the United States. So that means that Audrey tell we say 10,000 laborers come and 10,000 deportee. George Davis and never take it from the interview.
Good morning. Tell the Jezebel, good morning.
I'm going to say it again. If it is Courtney that them say 10,000 laborers are come, that means that 10,000 laborers, Courtney, and 10,000 despicable. Now is a reason why Jamaica figure march. Our care has burned it tonight. Uno not have no job for the young people them. Uno not have no job in the tourism sector for the people. Uno take up 10,000. She says when she divide amongst the 750 communities in Jamaica, she could have give each community 20,000 laborer. So that means say 20 laborer. So that means Jamaica, we're now going to get 20 laborer and 20 deportee. Beverly Hills, Cherry Garden!
Ball out! Whoa, yo. We need help, Jesus.
She said quietly she divide the laborers amongst every community in Jamaica. So by the laws of deductive reasoning, Courtney, that means say every community, rich, poor, rural, or urban, go and get 20 of them. I know 20 of them are going to get Courtney at 40. Because they're going to get 40 laborer and 40 deportee. 40 laborers and 40 deportees. Jamaica. Jamaica. Dear Jamaica, dear my beloved country, so if you are saying, Audrey Marks, that you did not, if you are saying that you, Courtney, did not go to the US government,
Where'd she go?
you are saying, Audrey, somebody leaked that agreement. I am asking tonight, as a people's defender, because you will not come on this platform. You will not come to this platform. You will go to those platforms that are safe to do interviews. But I'm inviting you tonight, Audrey. I don't have to do the interview because you might think I would drill you too hard. Well, Noel Phillips is here to interview you. Just as how Prime Minister Brown in Antigua can make the country see the document, why can't you and your government let us Jamaica see the document? Why can't you all let Jamaica see the document? Why? And if I get a member of the United States government on this platform, Audrey, lying on the United States government can see to the revocation of your visa. Right, Courtney? Just as though you're talking about there would be serious implications on lying on you. Lying on the US government can also see to the revocation of your visa. And your diplomatic immunity passport be revoked. So I'm wondering, are you ready to have the State Department on PDTV giving the ultimate truth of how this agreement was signed? How was this agreement signed? Who did this agreement, Audrey Marks? Who sent you to Washington? You spoke about going to a meeting in 2025 and a meeting this year. So you went to two separate meetings. Tell us about meeting 1 and tell us about meeting 2. Audrey Marks, I'm going to say this to you. Jamaica is a perfect harboring ground for corruption, basic breaches of human rights. They know the realities. The US government know very nastiness one do. It's just a matter of time before they clip you all. None of them in this government are safe. I can say that with an unequivocal truth tonight. None of them in this whole administration is safe. Any one of them at this hour, second, minute can be arrested. Because they're all involved in corruption. Why you think I'm going to bust another liberty tonight, Courtney? Matthews, I don't want me to talk some Labour Party business tonight. Set a rat trap again for me, Matthew. Or play a little David. Because when I bust this rat trap tonight, you're not going to wonder what I know. Play something, forget me. Play a little David, Matthew. Play a little David. I want tonight, if we go get in a one groove, room, and rep. Lord God. Wanna think, wanna see nothing yet? Wanna not see nothing yet, Jamaica?
David was one of the greatest musicians. And I hear this musician playing. Give God glory, musician. Tell them, play a little David. Play a little David. Play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Me say roll, Jordan. Me say roll, Jordan. Roll.
Now, Jamaica. There are two more that is going to be charged for illicit enrichment. So that is why nationwide and all of them trying to come with distraction about ISAT and Nikisha and all of this. There is a reason why they could not table the report. Because it would be too much now, Courtney. The Integrity Commission has 2 more government members that need to be prosecuted. So a high-level meeting was kept. And you're going to wonder how I know. Labor rights love me in Jamaica, so they're going to talk. Wheatley made it clear to Andrew Holness, if you ever fire me, I'm going to take you down. If you ever fire me, I'm going to take you down. However, there is another part that is interesting. To appease the public, Andrew Holness is believed. He will ask Juliet Holness to step aside as Speaker of the House. And you wonder where I'm getting my sources from. Politics is about a chess game in a court. So I gather that there is a big conversation within the Labour Party where Juliet Holness will be asked to step aside so that there can be an appeasement. Expect what they're trying to do. Parliament will be going on a recess shortly, Jamaica. They are trying to push out the time, Courtney, so that that tabling and that report don't come till September. So Holness decide, if I get rid of Juliet now as Speaker, I can cool down tensions, walk out with the private sector a little more, and come September, me deal with the next 2. And I wonder where me I get it from. Juliet Holness is the friend of some of them in Parliament. My very good friend from. But Andre Stevens is a friend of none of these tootsies and drunkards in the Labour Party. I am Sikanrat here. Sikanrat same here too. I am no friend of Juliet Holness, Courtney. Will never be a friend of that tootsie. Will never be a friend of that bully. And will never be a friend of that treasonous creature. A time the PNP and the Labour Party pack you up. It's time the PNP and the Labour Party pack you up. You hear what I say? So Holness playing the chess game. And I wonder, Courtney, how do I create a master stroke tonight? The Labour Party is saying the best bet right now is to cool the tensions and get rid of Juliet. Be prepared, Jamaica. Be prepared for what is to come. And when you see Jamaica, the political prophet called Andre Stefano Stevens. I'm not a political mongrel, you know. I'm not a political liability. As a political, what, Courtney? Prophet. I read political rooms. Courtney will wonder sometime, Andre, what you thinking about? Claudia can't tell you. I will stay in my room and play political chess. Play political chess, Jamaica. It's an interesting time in this country. I only can continue to take set pan Nikisha. I go and be our puppet show. And me have raise up the pitbull them. And me have raise up the political Doverman them for stand up for her. I will say this without no reservation. I support Mark Golding. But until that time, Courtney, Nikisha Burchell will be my queen and the next Jamaican queen. So you can't go and beat up on her. Beat up on her all you want labor rights. And some of you all about to beat up on the nice queen of the South. Listen me and listen me well, Jamaica. Juliet, you will not win the fight against Nikisha because Andre Stevens stand up in front of her, back her, side her. And the truth be told, Juliet, your time has expired. Pack up. Go on your yard, Juliet. Go on home. If you believe in Nikisha, say one Nikisha Burchell on the app. Jamaica, I know it is late, but I'll be back tomorrow with some firing, potent conversations. And for those who are willing to name and shame, but I, Audrey Stefana Stevens, surely not a political mongrel, as a political profit and a political asset, not a liability to anyone. Learn this and learn this well. Sometime one must know to read the room, observe the room, and then you make your masterful stroke. Many of you young politicians need mentorship. And I pray you get the mentorship because I believe you all have a future. Read the room, get some mentorship, and one thing, Jamaica, the PNP can win the next election, landslide, as stated by Alfred Dawes. But we have to come together. We have to come together. Audrey Marks, I've asked some serious questions tonight. Answer those questions. And if you don't answer, Audrey, there's more that I'm about to reveal. There is more. Jamaica, it was a pleasure being here tonight. And you see, 7,000 are down there. And not even 1.5 pitney. Not even 1.5 pitney students say, teacher, we can't get the GoFundMe, me shame. And then all I'm going to say, teacher, help out the pitney them. Me go no till tomorrow for we reach a greater depth. You hear what I say? Thanks for everybody. Tomorrow I want it reach to $5,000. And next week we're going to try and break another 5,000. And so we have to go build it up and pull it up, Jamaica. But you see, until then, what good. We want to come to farmers market tomorrow, you know. We want to show me some lower farmers market tomorrow. Me have chicken a sale, me have breadfruit, me have this, me have that. And come, Courtney, for the nice sorrel pig steal or the turn carmeal, the curry goat, the pork chops, all of the good things them tomorrow. Until then, my name is Andre Stevens. Did you enjoy the class tonight? Did you enjoy the class tonight? If you enjoyed the class tonight, send me a message. I love you all, my boos and my elders. I love you, Jamaica. Stay well, Jamaica. We will be here back tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, on behalf of myself, my co-host Noel, my producer Matthew Dredon, Shaquille, the administrator, and everyone here tonight, walk good, stay blessed. My name is Andre Stevens. The word is love. Good night.